Jaq asks,
Erik shows.
competitive Excel.
Microautomated.
I have a lot of lambdas now. I've got a lot of formula in my head. All of them have different kind of parameters that I want to input, and I'm losing track of everything. How can OA Robot help with that in a competition?
All right. Well, as part of turning your lambdas or your functions into robot commands, you can use something called input parameters. So let me just show you a quick example here using toCall. So I have some data that is a mixture of numbers, and there's some blank cells in here, and there's some errors. Now, the toCall, if I do toCall for this range, it will just put those into one big column. But there's some different options here. There's ignore, so I could say ignore the errors, and I could scan by either rows or columns. So I'll scan by columns. So now you can see that I've removed those. I'm going to show you now an example of how I turned the toCall into a command that I call list values. So instead, I'm going to refer to this, and I'm going to do list values. And when I hit enter, you'll see that it's going to ask me for those different parameters. Do I want to keep all of the values, ignore blanks, ignore errors, or ignore blanks and errors? I'm going to choose ignore errors. And then it asks me the second question, do you want to scan by rows or by columns? And I'll say by column. So now I got the same result, and it filled those in automatically. If I go and look at the definition of that command, you will see that use parameters in here, and these are input parameters. So I have two input parameters, one called ignore and one called scan by, and those are defined under general properties parameters. And if you click the dot, 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 you can see the ones that I've created. You click into those definitions, you can see that my ignore parameter, I gave it a prompt, and I gave it a list, a validation list with what the comma separates what you want to say in the list box versus what you want to actually put in the formula.
Yeah.
And you can specify what the default value is down here as default value. So that was the ignore one, and very similarly for scan.